Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. This one was definitely unplanned. I actually wound up finding this bad boy in the wild, and if you can't tell, it's the Ultimate Edition Target exclusive Legend Series Rock. And man, what a figure this is gonna be to review. I love the attire. I love the different facial expressions. I also love the hand molds. Just everything about this, from what I've seen so far, is a top 10 figure, let alone the tracksuit being included. Man, this is going to be a fun review. All I can really say is enough talk. Why don't I shut up and we can get into the action figure review itself. Alrighty, you guys, now that we've gotten everything out of the box, let's go over all the accessories, and trust me, there is quite a bit to go over. First things first, let's start off with some of the standard accessories with most figures nowadays. He comes with fist hands, of course, for punching people and stuff of that nature. He comes with mic holding hands, and as you can see, he comes with a microphone for that reason. He can also hold a kendo stick and stuff like that with those hands. You've also got his little just bring it starter pose. You've also got the hands that are how to finish it, you know. You just do a little simple that's it. And or you could also take this into consideration too. He used to throw his hand up into the air, then make a fist as he was coming back in for the punch. So these hands could also be pretty handy for that. And just to get a little up close look at these really interesting hand sculpts. And you know, let's get into the microphone accessory next. A Roswar microphone, of course, it fits the era pretty well. A little bit of paint smudge in there, but oh, it actually came right off, so that works out way better for me. Cool little microphone, a unique microphone to have, 2 out of all the microphones I have. He also comes with a pair of golden shades you will definitely see on the head sculpts later on in the video, so we'll take a more in-depth look at those later, but they are really nice and a little bit more unique. And then of course he comes with everybody's favorite accessory, the tracksuit, from when he was being a little bit self-conscious about his man boobs, so he got them reducted. He wore the tracksuit to kind of hide it, because it would be weird if he didn't wear the bottoms, and he only wore this, so he wore both of them because he wanted to cover his abdominal area, his chest area. But yeah, these are really nice accessories, and it really does kind of feel like track pants material, which is the really neat part about it. And we'll take a more in-depth look at those on the figure later. Is now we also take a look at the head sculpt that's on the figure in the packaging, the people's eyebrow head sculpt. It doesn't look too bad, you know. It's a little weird looking, especially because I think the one eyeball there is... No, actually it's pretty damn solid. We'll look at the hair detail here in a little bit on some of the other head sculpts. This screaming head sculpt might be one of my more favorite ones. You put the sunglasses on it, he can do the if you smell. And of course with the sunglasses off, he's yelling in pain while he's in a submission hold or whatever. Honestly, like perfect 2-in-1 head sculpt right there. And then you've just got the standard, like a smirking, straight face rock. hair detail on all of these is really neat. I think that one's a little bit different though compared to the first two head sculpts, but does that necessarily matter? Not to me too much, as it's not like this version of the rock will ever show up in my pick fed. So, I don't know. It would be kind of neat to see what bald rock would look like on that figure and vice versa. So, I mean, maybe if I can do that for you guys, we'll have to see, but I don't think I can. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. Why don't I get the rock set back up to be reviewed? Alrighty, now that we've got the figure set back up with a set of hands and one of the head sculpts, I can say this figure is definitely a really dope attire to go with. And the only gripe I have with it is apparently if I twist the leg too far in, the tights will scratch up the leg. I don't know if that's just because of how mine is or whatever. I haven't tested it out on this side. I hope it doesn't do it on this side, because, it kind of did, I think. Yeah, there is a little scratch there, so I guess that's something to keep in mind if you do plan on playing around with this rock, and it's not just for, like, putting it in a specific pose and putting it on your shelf or leaving it in the box. But other than that, I think this rock is going to be a fairly fun figure to have in any of your guys' collections if you can find it in stores or if you can find it cheap enough online. I wasn't willing to pay the price and trying to find out, and I found it in stores, so as you can see, it's right in front of me. I do kind of hope we'll see a more like modern day rock where he's got the updated arm tattoo as an ultimate figure, even if it's like the tracksuit pants rock that we've kind of already seen a figure of, like the one from the, 1000th episode of SmackDown. I'm not exactly too sure. But anyways, let's talk about the attire a little bit. Kind of a standard rock attire. Blue with silver lining on the inside of the designs, and of course we've got blue outlining with silver words on the inside of the front logo. Black knee pads, black boots with the weird little hole in the back. Never knew why he did that, but it's always been a thing. And of course, black elbow pads that are removable, so he can do his people's elbow just fine. Might be a pain in the ass to get him off though, because he's got the thick arms, but that doesn't necessarily matter to me. Should we do a little bit of points of articulation? Might as well, right? I mentioned it. So he can look up about that far, which is pretty good. He can look down about that far, which is alright. Of course, head can do 360. His arm can go up this high. His arm's got the butterfly joint, so it can move forward and backwards, making a rock bottom also way more cooler. He's got the upper bicep swivel, double joint in the arm. He's got wrist bend and wrist swivel. Of course, the ab crunch is not the best because it's an Ultimate Edition figure. The back bend is actually pretty neat though. And of course, his waist can swivel. Nothing I'm forgetting up on top. As we move into the legs, he can kick up about that far, but that is mainly because he has the drop down hip joints. Of course, you have to push up on the leg to get those back in place. He's got upper thigh rotation, double bend in the knee. He's got boot rotation, but these boot molds actually kind of make it a little hard to rotate the boot. So I'm not going to even bother to try. He does have some pretty decent ankle articulation. no like ankle rock from what I've noticed, and he does have the toe bend, as all the Ultimate Editions do. Would be kind of neat if we could start seeing that implemented into the Elites, but at that rate, you would kind of be taking stuff away from the Ultimate Editions that make them a little unique, so I highly doubt we'll see that for a very long time. But with that being said, why don't we get into some action figure comparisons? Maybe I can get them set up for the final pose, and we'll rate them up and get you guys out of here so you guys can go about your day. Now that we've got the Rock all set up in the tracksuit and stuff, why don't we compare him to some other Ultimate Edition figures? I didn't feel like pulling my Ultimate Edition Fiend out, or I would have. So here we have Brock Lesnar. We've got our Intercontinental Champion in our pick fed, AJ Styles, and The Rock in the middle. And I'd say he scales up pretty damn well with everyone who I'm comparing him with. And while we're at that, we also have a couple other figures we can compare him with as well. While I have them out, I kind of figured I might as well also compare these as well, because this is the closest we get to an Ultimate Edition with AEW is their Supreme figures. And I have the Walmart exclusive Cody Rhodes and the Walmart exclusive Kenny Omega with the Target exclusive Ultimate Edition Rock in the Ring. I'd say these also still fairly scale up well to each other. Maybe the Rock's a little bit taller, but at the same time, who knows? These could be pretty perfectly scaled. And while we're at it, I've already got these figures out, so this won't be too much of a problem. Just gotta move World Champion Cody and his buddy Kenny out of the way. We've got the tracksuit Rock I was talking about with a shirt on it instead of just the white and black tank top. As you guys probably could tell, I have the white and black tank top on my Brody Lee, as I didn't care enough to keep the plastic rubber one on there, so yeah. And as you can tell, because of the torso swap on him, I think, I mean, maybe not, I just might not have had him too well, like, stood up actually. But because of the torso choice on this one, the tracksuit pants Rock Elite definitely stands a tad bit shorter compared to the Ultimate and the Elite Custom Fix-Up, whatever you want to call it, that I have there, because it is literally this torso, but on the Elite 19 Rock, which definitely should get like a greatest hits release if it hasn't already. I don't think it has, just because I would love to see that figure get released. Plus, maybe, maybe just maybe, can we get The Rock in the ring with the updated tattoo so we can get an Elite of The Rock with the updated tattoo, so I ain't gotta make another custom like I did with the original Elite 19. I swear I cried a tear the day I made that custom, but at the same time, if I want to use the Rock in my pick fed, I plan to use that Rock along with this Rock. So I guess you can say just keep that in mind. But now I also have the tracksuit that I can mess around with too, so that also makes everything just a little bit more interesting. Alrighty, you guys, so now that we've got the final pose going on, this might as well almost be a pick fed moment at this rate. We've got the world champion getting called out by the Intercontinental Champion, The Rock, and Brock Lesnar. That almost actually kind of sounds like it would be a dope Fatal 4-Way match. Maybe at some point in the future we could eventually see that. I highly doubt it though, but never say never. Anyway, what would I rate this figure on a scale out of 1 to 10? Knowing that it's an exclusive figure, so this is going to be a fairly hard figure to find unless a Target is nearby you. It released, October 1st officially, like that's the day Target was allowed to start selling that figure. And here it is, I want to say what, the 25th? Maybe 26th now? I don't know. I haven't slept yet after work. So I'm kind of just doing this off of the whim. I finally found one. The package wasn't the best, but you know, I'm not a mock collector. I bought this because I like the attire, I like the era of rock, and I also wanted the tracksuit just in case for whatever reason I decide I want to use that on the rock. Maybe I want to use that for Roman. You know, the list is endless. I could put that on Cody Rhodes if I really wanted to. He could start coming out wrestling in that next week. Ooh, excuse me. But that doesn't really matter. What do I rate it? Taking everything into consideration, I would have to say it's a good solid 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10, depending on how your figure comes in and you know how you find it, how much wear and tear you put on the figure just trying to struggle to fight with it out of the packaging, because trust me, mine took forever to get it out of the box. But it's got a lot of nice detail, it's got a lot of nice accessories, it's got a lot of nice head sculpts, a lot of hand sculpts. You know, all the detail is there where you need it to be, and that's what makes it an Ultimate Edition figure. Ultimate Edition figures are almost perfect at this rate for that reason. Like, the material of the tracksuit alone makes it kind of worth the money. It just feels super realistic. It looks super realistic. It almost looks like I bought custom clothing for that figure. That's how good those clothes are. And that's nothing against Jazzwares. But speaking of that white tank top, I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's on the Kenny Omega too for his promo gear. But, you know, other than that, my mind just kind of went elsewhere. So 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Let's say a solid 3.8 stars. I think that's good enough. And with that being said, I don't want to sit here for 20 minutes and ramble on and on and on. Hopefully I can get started on the next episode of the Pick Fed. If you haven't watched episode 6 yet, I would highly recommend watching that and all of the exclusive interviews that come after it, as there are 2 exclusive interviews, one with The Shield and one with Matt Riddle, plus a little sneak preview at the next debuting superstar, as I'm actually deciding to give this man not entrance packages, promo packages to debut with. So hopefully you guys enjoy the first preview, and because I haven't fully decided yet, I may actually plug that video in after this review is over. And I do also have a review set up for that figure. I didn't post it yet. I got really tired after work. I never ended up posting it. It's now been 2 days. I found the Rock figure. I went shopping for the baby shower I'm attending this week. A lot of crazy stuff's gonna be happening this week. And all I can really say is, if you're watching this, love you, BB boy. I'll be seeing you on Saturday. But with that being said, if you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, I really don't care. Subscribe for future action figure content like this, and or Pick Fed related if you're interested in the Pick Fed. I do have a whole dedicated playlist to everything I've done so far, so if you want to, feel free to check that out after this one maybe. Or maybe you'll find an action figure review you really want to look at first and you watch that first. By all means, do whatever you want to do. You could watch this video next Tuesday and watch everything else first. Maybe you want to watch everything in chronological order, like you're watching the Marvel movies. It beats me. Now I've somehow managed to ramble to get almost 20 minutes out of this video. Sorry, not sorry. We are out of here, guys. Much love, peace, and please subscribe. We're almost at 100, so that would be really dope.
My eyes, when you look at me, they are so gorgeous.